Welcome to Samrat, the time machine that is going to take you back 850 years from today. It's a time when America was not discovered, there were no automobiles, not even a bicycle, and the only way to pass a message was to ask someone to travel the entire distance by a horse usually and hand over a letter in person. So buckle up and get ready for an adventure of your lifetime. This is a different India. This is a time when travelers from around the world narrated tales of India's riches. These tales of treasure lured several kings to attack India. Just a few more years ago, Muhammad of Ghazni from Afghanistan attacked India 17 times and returned with a lot of gold. After Muhammad of Ghazni's death, there's a new force emerging in Afghanistan, Muhammad of Ghori. He attacked and occupied the region of Ghazni and is all set to launch attacks into India. He quickly occupies Sindh and Multan, which in the modern world are a part of Pakistan, and is looking to expand further into North India. History tells us that he succeeds in defeating Prithviraj Chauhan and Raja Jaichand and takes over India. He lets his loyal slave Qutbuddin Aibak rule from Delhi, who soon defeats Raja Bhimdev II as well. Hence began the rise of the Delhi Sultanate. However, you are now the new kings of these old kingdoms. Can you rule better and change the history? Can you become the Samrat of India? Place the map in the center and the 4 king boards on the 4 sides of the map. Keep resource cards, their camps, stars, and army units in separate piles. Shuffle the fortune cards and place them along with the other piles. Each player is a king from medieval Indian history. Choose which king you want to be and pick the corresponding king board. The players may choose to roll dice to decide who chooses first. Once the king boards are collected, collect the respective costs and strength cards too. Place your pawns in your capital cities, marked by the crowns. Each king gets a unique advantage which is written on their costs and strength cards. Muhammad Ghori gets a special army unit, his loyal slave, Qutbuddin Aibak. Prithviraj Chauhan gets to take 2 cavalry units for free. Raja Jaichand collects 3 gold resources for free. Raja Bhimdev II has a port in his kingdom. Hence, he can exchange 2 stone resources for 2 gold or 2 wood resources at any time. To win the game, the kings need to complete the objectives identified on their respective king boards, marked by stars. In a 2-player game, the first king who earns 5 stars wins the game. In a 3 or 4-player game, the first king to win any 7 stars wins. The objectives can be broadly classified into 3 types: historical achievements, Lord of Resources, and battle stars. The historical stars recognize the king's real achievements as per the historical records. These are different for each king. Just pay the associated cost to the bank in terms of resources or army units to earn the stars. Lord of a particular resource can be earned by any one king. That is, once a king becomes the Lord of Gold, no other king can earn that star. To earn battle stars, a king may attack any other king by moving their pawn on the map and attacking the other king. Once the pawns meet, battle begins and the king with more army strength wins and earns 2 stars. More on this later. Earning stars is not possible without generating resources. There are 3 types of resources: gold, stone, and wood. To generate these resources, the kings may build gold, stone, and wood camps in their kingdoms. Each kingdom is separated into 6 sectors. Camps may be built in any of these sectors. Each player rolls dice in their turn. All players with a camp in the matching sector number earns 1 resource from each camp in that sector. For example, In this case, if the blue player rolls 2, he or she earns 1 wood resource. At the same time, if the red player had 2 stone camps in sector 2, then he or she would earn 2 stone resources. And if the green player has a gold camp in sector 2, he or she also earns 1 gold resource. Each king begins the game with 2 free camps. Choose any 2 and place these in any of the 6 sectors in your kingdoms. More camps may be purchased by paying their respective cost to the bank. 2 stones for a wood camp, 3 stones for a stone camp, and 4 stones for a gold camp. As building more camps requires stone resources, it is suggested to pick at least 1 stone camp at the beginning of the game. A maximum of 5 camps may be built in a kingdom, excluding any free camps from fortune cards. Fortune cards provide special benefits that can strengthen a king's ability to win. There are 12 different types of fortune cards. One may find free camps, army units, extra resources, or other special abilities. You may even earn a free star. Each fortune card costs 1 gold, 1 stone, and 1 wood. A king may purchase any number of fortune cards in a turn, but can use only up to 1 card per turn. Once all fortune cards are purchased, the used cards may be shuffled and made available for repurchase. All kings can exchange resources at a 3:1 ratio with the bank. That is, a king can exchange any 3 identical resources to get any 1 resource of another type from the bank. Raja Bhimdev II, however, can exchange stone resources at a 2:2 ratio. There are 3 types of army units: swordsmen, cavalry, and elephants. Swordsmen are the basic army units with a strength of only 1 unit, while cavalry have a strength of 2 units, and elephants are the strongest with a strength of 4 units. A swordsman costs 2 wood, a cavalry unit costs 1 gold and 1 stone, while the elephant costs 2 gold and 2 wood. A king may use resources to purchase any number of army units in a single turn. Use your army to complete any past battles or to conduct a live battle with any other king. A king is eligible to wage a battle against another king only if he or she owns at least 1 army unit and at least 2 stars. Your army is represented by your pawn. Decide which king you want to attack and move towards that king along the dotted line path joining the 2 capital cities. You can move only up to 1 tent per turn unless you use skip a tent fortune card, in which case you can skip a tent and move to the next tent in the same turn. However, you can return to your capital city from any tent in just 1 turn. Once the 2 pawns meet, the battle begins and the kings compare their total army strength. That is, each king adds up the strength of their army units, and the one with more strength wins the battle and earns 2 stars. Place these stars on your king board in the band of same color as the defeated king. A defeated king is not out of the game. He or she may still continue playing. However, as a result of the defeat, he or she has a choice of either losing all army to the bank or giving away any 1 star. If the king does not own any army at the point, then he or she is forced to lose a star. Note: a battle takes place as soon as 2 pawns meet. It could be at a capital city or at a tent on the way. A king can never escape a battle. If a king's pawn reaches another king's capital while his or her pawn is away, he or she is forced to return to the capital to face a battle. If the army strength of both the kings matches, then the battle is considered a draw. Neither king earns stars, and both kings retain their army units. Between 2 kings, a battle may take place only once, unless it ends in a draw. Sorry, no revenges. Once a battle ends, both kings' pawns return to their capital cities. To summarize, In each turn, a player may perform the following actions in the same sequence. First, roll the dice. Collect one resource from each camp built in the corresponding sector number. You can use these resources to build more camps, purchase army units, complete objectives, or buy fortune cards. You can use up to one fortune card per turn. And finally, you can move your pawn by one tent per turn. Note, at the end of a turn, the total number of resources with a player cannot exceed 7. Return any excess resources to the bank. So what do you think? Are you ready to rule like a king? Can you become the Samrat of India?